I guess an understanding that there isn't one silver bullet to resolving the issue of piracy. It needs to be a holistic solution from enforcement to intermediary engagement, but also consumer awareness. And that was one of the key items discussed. Consumer awareness that it's not a victimless crime, that there are many in front of the camera, behind the camera, companies that produce, distribute, Filipino and international, that are directly impacted by piracy, but also consumers themselves could be at risk from piracy through malware that's embedded into torrents, malware that's embedded into software that could be alleged video platforms that users are encouraged to download, or malware embedded into the advertising that's found on piracy websites. Avia is very lucky in that one of our members of our steering committee is Globe, and Globe have been extremely proactive in this space with their Play It Right campaign. In fact, they really are taking the lead from an Asia Pacific standpoint in terms of consumer awareness of the nexus between piracy and malware. And they've released a number of PSAs, one of which is informing consumers of the very real risks of piracy when it comes to the dissemination of malware. And I guess the message that sometimes with piracy, consumers think they're getting something for nothing, but sometimes that something has a cost, and the cost is the cost of malware. And now that obviously piracy has moved online, it's become more of a difficult crime to detect. The piracy ecosystem can now be across numerous continents. So from an investigative standpoint, the operator could be located in one continent, the servers in a second continent. So it's a very complex technical ecosystem. So it involves very much a collaborative effort from industry to industry, but also industry to government, and often with these larger syndicates, governments to government. So it has become a more complex crime to investigate. But in saying that, the myth that pirates are anonymous, no. Pirate syndicates, pirate operators can be found and will be found. I think more at a granular level, we're looking at technologies from a proactive standpoint that, especially when it comes to, say, live sports, that can be proactively ingested, which would be able to identify those illicit streams and cut them off early on. And also from a reactive standpoint, technologies that can be used to again identify streams, identify the origins of streams or the origins of illicit applications, and identify the servers that are disseminating that content, and sometimes identify the operators of those illicit applications or websites. Avia's most important strategic partner when moving into IR 4.0 would be telecommunication companies. Telcos are at the forefront of not only disseminating the data, but also many, especially forward-thinking telcos like Globe, are into both the production and distribution of content. So telecommunication companies would be our most strategic partner.